Hey, this is Dow Too Fast here, and in this video I will talk about a noise that I've been hearing on this Nissan Quest. And I usually hear it when I accelerate to about 2000 RPM. It's really like a metallic grinding sound, like a buzzing grinding sound. Alright, I'm trying to capture the buzzing sound that you hear in the car. Well, I hope you're able to hear that. Just to give you an idea of what the buzzing sound is. I looked up the problem on the internet. I found out that there's actually a TSB from Nissan that talks about the front and rear support bracket that holds the exhaust that may be cracked. So if you look underneath the vehicle here, so here on the right side you see the transmission oil pan coming down from the engine. Actually, there's one pipe here, and there's a bracket that's holding it down. So let's bring it over here. So you see this line here? That is a crack that's on this bracket. And then I turn the camera towards the back. I don't know if you can see it, but there's another bracket. Let me bring this over. See if I can get it this way. Back here, there's a second bracket where my finger is pointing. That line, if you can see that line there, that's also a crack on the bracket. There's one right here, and the second one's right here, and both of these are cracked. So I'm gonna remove those. There's no really easy way to film this because the space is so tight, but hopefully you'll get an idea of what this will look like. So here I have a 12mm. That's what I'm going to use. Oh, you heard that? That's one side of the bracket breaking off. One of the bolt was seized, so I'll bring out the impact wrench and try to get the last one here. Let me show you this service bulletin from Nissan. It's NTB05-021E, and it describes the exhaust rattle buzzing noise and applies to multiple Nissan vehicles: Maxima, Nissan Quest, Murano, with all these years listed. And in the document, if you look at it, it has a picture of the rear and front support bracket on a catalyst front tube. So this is the rear support bracket, and that's a front support bracket. There's another picture here. Over here, here's a rear one with a cracked outline right there, and the front support is also right here. Interestingly enough, if you look at the one I took off, the point where it broke off is the same area where the diagram tells you same thing. So this one is the rear, this one is the front support bracket. Two bolts holding on to it. I called my local Nissan dealer and asked them for these parts, and I actually thought they would have it in stock, because if they have a TSB on this, I'm thinking they must get, like, you know, a couple of calls on these regularly, but I'm guessing that, you know, not many car owners care to fix this or know about fixing this, so they actually don't have that in stock. And the guy says, well, they can order for $18 a piece. So this piece of metal, they want 18 bucks. I think it's a lot of money for a piece of metal. But what I'm doing is I'm gonna, instead of using that, I'm gonna use one of these metal straps. I got this from Home Depot, and it's about the same thickness. As the original one. I got this whole strip for $5, and I'm just gonna cut it to the right length, and then do some hammering, some grinding. I'm gonna try it out. You know, if it works, it works. You know, if it doesn't, you know, a part like that is not gonna cause major damage to the car. If I find that, say, you know, a year later, this piece also breaks, you know what? I'll go ahead and buy the original one at that time, because these two brackets, the original ones, are going to cost me about $40. It's a lot of money for two brackets. So I've cut the length that I needed, got my cutting wheel and cut off the ends, and then after that I'm going to put on the grinder and just grind off the corners, all the sharp edges, and then bend it to the shape I need. So here's one bracket that's done. I mashed it up to the same angle as the other one, and let's do the other one. Here's the second one, and even the first one I did have to hammer this, the angle of it, to make it fit, because this bracket is not flexible, so the holes for the two bolts must align exactly. So it's a lot of work actually, but I'm on my second one, so hopefully it won't be too long before I get this one fitted. Alright, put both brackets on. Again, a lot of bending and manipulating that strap to make it fit. But hopefully it'll hold up. Okay, I'm doing a test drive right now. I'm at 2,000, 2,500 RPM. So far so good, I don't hear any buzzing. It seems pretty good right now. Before I wrap this video, I want to share with you another TSB I found related to the rattle noise you hear. And this one is TSB NTB 05-095, and also talks about rattle noise. So I went ahead and checked it, and what this TSB is asking you to do is go underneath the car and look at the Bank 1 heat shield. This heat shield right here. You see the three dots there? Those are actually weld points for the heat shield onto the pipe. Okay, and let me flip over to another page. And the Bank 1 heat shield on mine, if you stick your hand behind this heat shield, you kind of wiggle it, you kind of get a feel of which three of these are loose or should be securely welded tightly. On mine, this one, the weld came off, and you can actually put your hand in there. It's not super loose, but definitely you can tell that it's not tacked on properly, and the weld has failed. So what I did was that I went ahead and I went to Home Depot, got a screw-in type of stainless steel strap. You know, you can find those at home hardware stores. And basically it was a 3 to 5 inch strap I bought. and basically wrapped it around. It's a screw-in type, so you're able to tighten that screw until it's perfectly tight. And that was also done after I fixed the brackets, the two brackets I broke. And again, right now the driving is very quiet. I don't have any noise. But I just want to share with you that I also did this fix for this TSB. So while you're underneath the car, I definitely recommend that you just basically wiggle all the heat shields, wiggle all the clamps that's underneath. Alright, anyways, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe. Thank you. Bye.